Hi, I'm Amy from the Yoga Partnership. The Yoga Partnership is a new way of looking at the way we deliver yoga. We know that there's so many benefits to yoga and mindfulness and meditation, but we also know that the people that really need it find it really hard to access. That might be financially, can't afford to come into a studio and pay for a class. It may be geography, where they live, it is just physically impossible to get to a local studio or gym. Or it could be because of illness or disability, or just not feeling comfortable to come into the normal setting within a gym or a studio. So we flip them all on its head. We're an outreach program and we take yoga to the people that need it most in a place that they feel safe and comfortable. The Yoga Partnership was born because I've been a teacher for many years. I own a studio in Brisbane, absolutely love it. But I also can see the limitations and get frustrated by them of having a physical studio of walls and ceiling and limited space. So these frustrations led to a lot of discussions with my amazing business partner, Beth. And we looked at all the people that weren't coming to studio classes. And we said, well, how do we solve this? How do we stop complaining about these limitations and shift the way that we deliver yoga? Hence our outreach model. We have big plans at the Yoga Partnership. We set up just before COVID hit Australia. So it's been a learning time for us, and it's probably been a real positive because it's given us a lot of time to really consolidate our plans. There are a lot of groups within Australia and the world that we want to help. So it's just prioritising what groups we can get to and be effective in a decent time frame. We're learning a lot about legalities, governance, constitutions, the ACNC. We're setting up as a charity, as a non-for-profit. Been writing lots of grant proposals, lots of funding requests to private groups. We've had some great success so far. We've taught some online yoga to regional and remote women of Australia. We have an Auslan yoga teacher teaching to the deaf and hard of hearing community in Brisbane. We are in the final 72 ideas from around the world for November for a male perspective yoga program for mental health. We have just received a grant to take yoga online to regional and remote areas of Australia, and we have lots of other things bubbling away which we hope come into fruition very soon. Once we are set up as a non-for-profit, we can move things in a new direction. It's been a slower process than what we'd like since we set up, but as I said, a pandemic and all these kind of background setups have taken us a bit of time, but that's yoga, isn't it? It's learning to be patient with things and accept them the way they are and find peace within the chaos. So we're definitely using our skill set of yoga to get through this process. We want to showcase to the world and to Australia that yoga is so much more than just the physical, so much more than just doing the aesthetic gymnastic kind of moves, that there is this beautiful toolkit that you can use in your everyday. So some of our programs, like our Yoga for Anxiety that we taught online for the Wesley Mission, we got feedback that, the reminder that just taking 3 full, calm, mindful breaths while the kettle's boiling has been a really practical way to bring some peace into people's lives. And so we realized that having this mat set up and carving that out every day can be really difficult for people to attain to. So let's make it real, let's make it tangible, let's make it practical for people. And that's our mission at the Yoga Partnership. You can find out more about us online at www.theyogapartnership.com.au. We are loving talking to community groups that need better access to yoga. So if you are in one of those communities or know someone, please get in touch. We definitely want to talk to funders or anyone with potential funding, or that can help us any use a pay system to get yoga into these people at an affordable rate. We'd love to hear from you. We're working with community groups, hospitals, healthcare providers. So yeah, please keep Yoga Partnership in mind if you identify a group that really needs some help. To know a little bit more about me, Lou's asked me some fun little questions just to give me a little bit of a challenge. 3 people I'd invite to dinner, dead or alive. Oh, I find this question so hard because there are so many people I'd love to invite. I'd probably invite Etta James first because I love her music and she could provide the soul and the background and the ambience for the dinner party. Oh, I mean, I'd need someone to cook, right? And I'm a bit of a foodie, so I'd probably invite Heston Blumenthal because it'd be delicious food, but also very entertaining in his delivery and his creativity. And I'd probably invite someone that either inspired me or made me laugh. Oh, inspiration-wise, so many people. Oh, Lou, this is tough. Inspiration-wise, I mean, I could go, that's tough because there's a lot of people I'm inspired by. Look, I'll go along the yoga theme. Teo Porch and Lynch passed away maybe 2 years ago now. She was a real treasure. She was the Guinness World Record holder for oldest yoga teacher in the world. She lived to 100 or 101, I think. But she just lived life. She took up ballroom dancing when she was 80 and just loved dancing with this young, amazing man. She would take a photo every year on her birthday with Robert Sturman, a great photographer, wearing just these most beautiful, colourful dresses, great photos by the trees or doing a yoga pose. Physically, she could do poses that I hope I can do at 100. I can't do now in my 40s, but maybe that means I've got 60 odd years to learn how to do them. But she just had this vibrancy, this beautiful love and passion for life and for people and kindness. And it's just my dream to have a glass of wine with her and chat. I'd also probably invite Azaria Chamberlain because I always have just been so confused by that story about a dingo stealing a baby. Did it happen? Did it not? There's been so much controversy in Australia about it and the criminal convictions of Lindy Chamberlain. So I think I'd really love Azaria Chamberlain at my dinner party just so I could ask her what really happened that day back in the 80s. How do I cope day to day with stress? It's really a variety of things for me. I do love to read, and I've got some great friends that lend me books that they recommend, so I do love to read to de-stress and just take my mind off. I love to exercise, so some days it might be a run to if I'm really fired up, just to quiet my mind, because when I'm running, all I can concentrate on is breathing and surviving and getting to the next corner, so it's a good way for me to calm my busy mind. Clearly love doing yoga. A lot of the time that is me just flopped over my bolster with an eye pillow on and just tuning out. Love being around my friends, my family, or taking my dog for a walk. So yeah, it really, for me, it just depends on the day and what I need. My yoga practice sometimes is physical, but a lot of the time, because my life is quite busy and hectic, it's legs up the wall, or as my husband says, just cuddling a pillow. I think for most of us, life is busy enough and hectic enough, and we're pushing ourselves and driving ourselves and creating this heat in our body all the time. So to bring balance in our life, we actually need the opposite. We need to cool the mind, cool the body, calm the nervous system, drop into that parasympathetic state. So for me, that's something I'm definitely working on as I get older. In the past, I was definitely a go kind of person, so my exercise was very physical, my life, my business was very driven. Even my social circles were very full and lots of commitments, but these days I'm definitely taking wisdom from my yoga practice and learning to slow down, to pause in the moment, to breathe better, to say no to things, to take care of me and my vessel when I need to, and just really enjoy the moments between the big things.